Hello and welcome back to another episode of AchromatiCraft. Do you recognize this building? You shouldn't, because it wasn't here at the end of the last episode. So if you checked out our last episode, we got a triple spider farm built. And it was kind of an ugly area up here. Let me jump over and I'll take you on a little tour here. So if you remember last time, we just had a big hole here and the two elevators that went down. So I've decorated this out a little, took a piece of what we did over here, stuck it on one side, and made this look like a crane. Like it's pulling stuff up from the mine, and I textured part of it. We still need to do down there, but we'll get to that later. And let me kind of show you what I did inside here. Is where we had the elevator going down, I guess the drop going down and the water elevator up. We now have those inside tucked away. It's pretty boring in here. We're gonna have to do something in that, but that's fine. We'll get it taken care of. But really I tried to make this building be somewhat of a blend of what we did up here with our farm and this portion being up here. I really want to make sure that our buildings feel like a cohesive city. So really trying to bring the different elements of the different buildings into our builds so it feels like a town. But today we're going to step away from mining and we're actually going to create something that I've built in a redstone tutorial. So if you haven't checked that out, you can go check it out there. But we're also going to build it today. And what that is a terracotta farm. Did you know you can build terracotta? Well, not maybe straight terracotta, but we're going to build a dirt to mud to clay to terracotta farm. Wow, that's a lot of steps, but it's actually not that bad for us. But we're just going to jump in and get started. All right, and I'm not going to go straight into redstone tutorial. If you haven't seen how to do these, like I say, go check out my video, but they're really not too bad. You just build a simple little platform, which we'll do here real quick. I guess I should get out my glass. We're going to build a little tube here. Going to put a dispenser there. What we're going to build here is a water column that will go up. And this will fill up water bottles and then shoot them up the water column. So they're pretty straightforward. We put a little glass in here. We put, do I have some hoppers? Nope. Pause for a second. I gotta go make some hoppers. All right, unpause. I got that taken care of. Got 4 of them. Got a few extra just in case. But what we're gonna do is put a hopper now straight into the side of that. And you can see I use a texture pack that helps me know that I actually got it in the right spot. Next, we're gonna put a dispenser here that shoots right out the side. So we got one facing the water and one facing this way. This is where we're going to put dirt, then it'll change it into mud. Now let's jump back up here, and I'll have to take this glass out. We're going to put a repeater on top of here, and we need a block here. In my tutorial, I definitely forgot to put that one in there. So make sure you put that there. And then a simple hopper goes here. And next, when the water comes up, we need to block it so it doesn't hit that repeater. So we're going to just put a trapdoor in here and one on top. You can see this is where our water column's going to come up. Next, pretty simple. We're just going to put a block here, here. We're going to put one down there, but the water's going to flow over and around to this hopper. So we're just going to build a little way for that water to kind of flow around. And that is like the easiest part. That's how you get water balls. Now we're gonna have to fill this dispenser and this dispenser full of water balls. We'll get there. Luckily we're in a desert. That's not going to be a problem. Next, I need to build the piece that wraps around for us to put the dirt in and then have it move forward. So let's do that. All right, and that part really isn't too bad. We make a simple C shape starting off of that hopper. So one here, and just wrap it around like that. Pretty straightforward. And before I forget, I need to put a piece of redstone right there. All right, now this next part we need a redstone torch, and you're going to see that when we put in a piece of dirt, this is going to be kind of the thing that gets the system going for us. Next, we'll put a redstone there. We're going to put a repeater here if I can jump, and set it on 3 ticks. You can put that on 3 or 4, doesn't matter. Go check out my tutorial. I give you some reasons there of which way to do. Next, we just need to bring up some of our stone bricks there. We're going to fall off because that makes for great content. And then we're going to stick in a piston here, some redstone, and that, I believe, is the part that we need to push out the dirt into mud. Let me go get some dirt and let's try it out. Okay, not only did I get some dirt here for us, I also went ahead, filled up this with all the water bottles and this. So it's a lot. I don't know, there's got to be a better one out there. Go see if there is. If not, this one's definitely going to work for you. But you can see I did all but 32. And all that's really doing is as water bottles loop in here, they'll be able to come in. If we filled it all the way up, they wouldn't be able to. So now I need to sleep. Let's go sleep and then we'll do the dirt part. All right, and we're all slept, ready for a new day. So what we're going to do here now, and I'll build a better platform here later, but this system, when I put a piece on, oh man, I did something wrong here. These should be switched. I should have known that. And then I need to put a repeater there. All right, and set that to 3 ticks. Let's not forget that. Okay. So now our dirt's going to be in the front, and if you saw, this water bottle shot out for me. So when we put the next one, you'll see it turn that to mud. So every time we put one here, oh, for some reason it didn't do that one. That's okay. Sometimes that happens. If you see it, just break it out. But for the most part, this thing is going to work pretty well. I don't know why. Maybe let's turn that to 4 and see if that's going to help it. That might help. Okay, so now you're seeing this big long line of mud. Well, we can't just have the mud go on forever. We need to push it forward a little because we're going to dry it out into clay. So next, let's go over, and I'm going to have to do this kind of from behind, I guess. Is we're just going to build a line here, and we're going to do 8 pistons. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, perfect, right where kind of my mud ended. I'm going to move those out for a minute here. We're going to grab our pistons. We're going to go through and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now this is pretty simple. This little C thing comes in handy again. We're going to use it over this way. And just do an exact one that we did. We're going to get out a torch and put it right here. So this one's a little different. The torch was on the inside there. This one's here because what we want to do is when a block gets placed here, it'll create a loop. So we need to go up to the top here. And if you see, if I put this here, it's going to give us a signal. So it's pulling through this mud into that. I'm going to break this just for a minute while we take our redstone dust. We're going to go all the way along the pistons. So what's good about this is when this circuit hits this last one, it shifts all the mud out and it'll just keep pushing it that way. Next, we're going to put the dripstone underneath this, and then that's what's going to dry all this out. So I'm going to put those in there. I'm going to get a little extra mud here going. I'll go grab the dripstone and then I'll show you how it dries out. All right, and this next part really isn't too hard because you're going to be able to see exactly where you need this. I've had to push out 3 different rows and a new row's coming in, but basically you're just matching up with the pistons. So coming all the way to where the pistons are, you put your stone in. I'm going to do a few more rows. I'll do I'll do the final rows off camera because I believe you can go 12 out. I'll probably test it a little and see. And then wherever you have the mud that's going to be coming, put some dripstone. Now you're going to want to make sure you're real careful in this spot because if you miss one, that mud will never turn to clay. So you got to make sure you get these dripstones on there just right, or make sure there's one on every block. And they're dripping, they're pulling it out. Let's see, is this going to go fast or is it going to make us wait a while? You never know. And the reason I'm building this farm so early in the city is because this process does take a while. And so what you'll probably say is, well, why don't you just go over there and mine a whole bunch of it? Yeah, I could, but that would be really boring. I want to have a bunch of redstone farms. I want to make it fun. I think Minecraft should be a fun game, not just always mining. Oh, and I see a problem. We need to put a cover up there so all those water balls don't get out. You can see, oh wow, 2 at the same time. This is gonna start going pretty quick. Once this starts happening, we're gonna need a silk touch shovel, and I don't believe this is silk touch. Nope, just efficiency and unbreaking. So we're gonna have to go get one of those, and we'll build a little walkway that we can walk around through here. But what we're gonna do is just go through and dig all of this out once it's dried out with our silk touch silk touch shovel, and then we just put it in a furnace. And that's how you make terracotta. So the last stage is even simpler than this because it's just furnaces. So I'm going to actually build the rest of this out. I might even just get the building in real quick because I think I have an idea. I love the idea that we're getting the the green dye over here that we can make cyan terracotta. And I want to start introducing it into the buildings. Now we'll still keep using mostly white, but I wonder if a portion of it could be this cyan. So I think we're going to try it with this one. So let me make a few fixes up there. Let me get this in. We'll let the mud keep going. And let's see what we got. And this is what we get. Another building in here. Man, this one was really fun to build. Because what I'm trying to think about, when you think of like a desert temple, they kind of have these symbols on it. And I thought, let's not just go with some things that hopefully people interpret, but maybe we have different signs on some of these buildings and they mean something. Now that's going to become more evident later because I have a concept of what I want to do for some silos and putting these symbols on the side of the silos, putting these on the side of the silos so that you can know that, hey, this was the terracotta one and now there's terracotta over here. So it becomes a cool way for us to store and know that this farm fed into that silo. So let's go check out the inside. Oh, and have an enderman. Oh boy. I have a mad enderman. Oh, I hate these guys. Oh yeah, that wasn't too bad. And it gave me 3 pearls. That's great. Yes, let me show you the inside of this. We obviously need to get the landscaping because part of our building's floating. But the inside of this is exactly what we knew it was. And maybe this is getting a little dark here. So the dirt or the mud comes in. I filled it all the way up. I don't know if I have a solid way down there. But all of our dripstones under here, you can see we've been out here long enough for this clay to fill right out, or to dry right out. So this is ready for us to harvest. I still don't have a shovel. I guess we're going to go trade for that. And then we're going to harvest. Let me go get that. All right. And we actually kind of lucked out. Like, this isn't the best silk touch, but we were able to just trade with one of our villagers to get it. So we'll have to put better efficiency on there. But at least for what I'm going to show you, this is going to work just fine. So obviously a higher efficiency, we'll be able to just zip through this and be able to grab all this out. But as soon as we've done this, I've actually built into the wall, because I'm kind of getting sick of furnace arrays. One day we're going to build a cool one. I built a little spot here where we can just put it, and I'll open up a few of these. So you can see, like, I build it proper all the way up. It has a chest up here, feeds it down into here. The fuel can be pumped into there, and then it will all come over here. So we've got that. We're gonna go pretty easy on this. We're just gonna let this feed once we get a whole bunch of clay, and we're just gonna let it cook. And if you watch, oh, one already came through. There's our terracotta. So what do we have here? We have taking our dirt into mud, into clay, and then all the way down into terracotta. That's gonna be pretty cool. Is it overkill? Oh yeah, but this is Minecraft. We always want to do stuff that's just for fun. And the nice thing is that tucks all the way, keeps it pretty clean in here. Now I've got to show you the building to get your thoughts here. So I did a darker portion of a building here, mixed with a light. And then if we go around to this side, you'll also see there's kind of a dark tower there. So really what I'm hoping to do is that we don't just have all white buildings, but that we start building in more of the contrast so that you get a little more excitement, a little more visual interest. So when you look at a town, like there might be a white building next to this one, that will get a little of that depth and excitement to our buildings. Let me know what you think. Well, actually, don't let me know what you think. I'm just going to go build a few more real quick while we've got time and see what this area looks like if we do have more buildings, and we can determine if it's going to look good with that kind of contrast. So let me build a few of those out, and then we'll look and see what it looks like. And some time later, we have a lot more buildings in here. So I tried to go a little bit different in this area. So to give you reference, that's what we built for our terracotta farm. And then this one, I build up kind of a building that is very empty inside. This might be our storage area. I need a storage area over here. This has a lot of room. But from the outside, you can see I added a tiny little house here. And then this one kind of wraps around with another building behind. Again, trying to make it feel like it's kind of crammed a little bit, but not too much. We got some buildings in here. We got one up here. And this is what I'm talking about with like darker buildings next to maybe some gray and white buildings next to some dark ones. So I'm going to fly out here real quick just to show you kind of that contrast. You can see that over here we have a lot of white. But what I want to start doing in the city is getting these pops of color so that, let me land here real quick, we get a lot more contrast, we get a lot more of visual excitement. Now I'm still building up the trees. I don't quite know how the trees are going to look or even if that's what it's going to be, but we got a cactus. I think this was a good recommendation of using walls. And we're going to have to put more of these in. We're going to do some decoration. I'm even putting like piles of rocks. But y'all, I think that is going to be it for an episode. Hopefully this sparks some ideas of like different block palettes that we can use, how the landscaping might come together, and really just giving the city a lot more texture and not just being white buildings, but really making it feel like people customize their houses. But y'all, that is going to do it for today. Thanks for watching. Again, if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.